Good morning. It's Tuesday the 27th of August 2024 and I've come back to the Wye Valley. But perhaps more importantly from my point of view, I've come back to Chepstow, my old hometown. So my first stop, St Mary's Church. Brilliant. Used to come to St Mary's Church a lot when I lived in Chepstow. Well, there is a service going on inside the church, so I didn't want to disturb it, so I've come back outside. I got a quick look round anyway, so not too bad. Anyway, when I lived in Chepstow, I used to come to St Mary's Church a lot. When I was at my primary school, we came here a couple of times, and later on I've been here for family funeral services, sadly, and came to one wedding actually. It was my Auntie Jo's wedding. My Auntie Jo was my mum's younger sister, and she got married here in 1973. I remember it very well because I was 7 years old and I was their page boy at the wedding. So I'll just walk along up a church street and see what's up here. And this is St Mary's Street. All these memories come in flooding back to me. I'm not going to walk up St Mary's Street today, but it still looks a very pleasant street with all its independent shops. So these are the Montague almshouses. They were built with money provided in the will of Sir Walter Montague, who died in 1615. The building housed 5 men and 5 women. And these are the Powys almshouses. They were provided in 1721 by Thomas Powys. He was born in the town and became successful as a wine merchant. There were rooms for 6 men and for 6 women. An arched doorway, which I think is just up here somewhere. Yep, that's it there. So that arched doorway there, below the almshouses, leads to a former wine cellar. And this is the 5 Alls pub. To let. Fab sign up there. I fight for all. I pray for all, I rule for all, I plead for all, I pay for all. Okay, now this is good old Hocker Hill Street. My very first doctor in Chepstow was based along here. His surgery was one of these buildings here. he was Dr. Jones, but I'm talking a long time ago now. This is the gun. It was captured from a German First World War submarine. King George V presented it to Chepstow in recognition of the gallantry of able Seaman Williams VC, a local man. So here we are on Chepstow High Street. Spent many a time down here. That empty building across there, that used to be Woolworths. Wow. Yep, it's changed a bit, but it's still the good old Chepstow that I remember, really. Taking a little detour up Rifleman's Way. Yeah, see what's up here. Nice little alleyway with some more independent shops. Chepstow Port Wall. The wall which enclosed the medieval borough on the west and south ran from the west end of the castle to the riverbank, about 3/4 of a mile below the bridge. It was probably built at the end of the 13th century and is still intact for the greater part of its length. Nice little doorway there, but we'll have a look to see what's on the other side of the doorway a bit later on. We're going to move on for the time being. And this is the town arch, or the town gate. It was built in the late 13th century at the same time as the port wall. It once had a gate, portcullis and guard room. It was used as a collection point for tolls on cattle and goods on their way to market, and these were payable to the lord of the manor. Quick walk through here then, see what's through the other side. Ah, okay. So, we're just on the other side of the arch basically. We'll have a look at that later though, because I'm just going to take a quick detour over this way. Here, by this part of the port wall, used to be Port Wall School. Now, Port Wall School was my primary school. Yeah. But the whole school has been knocked down now. It's been knocked down for years, actually. Yeah. So I did come back to Chepstow sort of over the years. But yeah, these houses have been here a long time now, but my primary school used to be just here. Oh, yep. Oh. Very close to where I lived. Anyway, we'll walk through the port wall now. Wow. Okay, I'm just going to take a little walk over there because there's something over there that's very important to my personal family history. So I'm now walking up Hardwick Avenue, and Hardwick Avenue was where I lived when I lived in Chepstow. It was my granny's house up here. I won't say which house it was, but yeah, when Mum and I left Alvington, which of course was my first home, we came here to Chepstow and lived at my granny's house here in Hardwick Avenue. I lived here for probably about 9 years, I think it would have been, because the last 3 years we were living in Chepstow, Mum and I got our own place in the Bulwark area of Chepstow. But yeah, very happy memories here, growing up in Hardwick Avenue and walking to Portwall School from here. I say happy memories, some of them were. I absolutely hated school though. It's bizarre saying that, really. But yeah, really weird walking up Hardwick Avenue again after all these years where I spent so much of my childhood. On the old subway, which was the link from Hardwick Avenue to the town centre, so I used to walk through this subway every day practically. So I'm at the top of the town centre again now, and this is Moore Street. Right, so I'm back beside the town arch now, and now I'm going to take a walk up Welsh Street. Okay, so I've turned off Welsh Street again, and I'm at the top of the Castle Dell. Castle Dell was open to the public in 1886, when the Duke of Beaufort leased it to the town for 1 shilling a year. The drinking fountain at the top here originally stood just off the High Street. So here's the port wall again, and we're at the other side of that little doorway. But we're not going back through that doorway now, we're going to head down this way towards the castle. And this four-sided stone seat was erected for Queen Victoria's Jubilee. Lovely to be back in the Dell again. And that rock there marks the start and end of the Wye Valley walk. So hope to do a bit of that whilst I'm here. Here we are then. I am inside Chepstow Castle. I haven't been inside Chepstow Castle since I lived in Chepstow, so at least 43 years then. Wow. Fantastic. A festival called Castel Roc has been held here, so it finished a day or so ago, so they're just sort of clearing up after them now, so that's why there's a little bit of disruption at the moment. So just here then, this is one of many viewpoints from the castle over the River Wye. The wonderful River Wye. And you can see across to England over there. That group of houses over there is Elmdale. Absolutely wonderful. Yeah, I really enjoyed coming to Chepstow Castle with my mum when I was a boy. Wow. Okay, I'm now walking up towards Chepstow's Great Tower. walking up to the top end of the castle now. Lovely. And the beauty is, even though it's still bank holiday week, there aren't too many people here. Well, part of the castle may be inaccessible at the moment due to the aftermath of the Castel Roc, but there is still plenty to see. Plenty to see. Okay, well, bearing in mind what is actually accessible in the castle today, I think this might be the highest point I'm going to reach today. Look at that. What a wonderful bird's eye view I've got here. Just walking down the other side of the castle now, so I'm heading back towards the entrance. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. There, that's Martin's Tower, and that's the bit unfortunate that I can't access today. But never mind, I've still managed to see lots here inside Chepstow Castle, so nothing's been lost. Okay, well, I'm just going to make my way outside of the castle now. But as I'm on my way out, I'm going to say hello, Natalie. I know I met you about an hour ago, but I did say that I'd give you a shout out, so it was lovely to meet you. Natalie's got her own YouTube channel, so I'll put a link to her channel in the description below my video as usual. Okay, so nice to meet you, Natalie. Chepstow Museum. Well, I remember this as a kid. It used to be a hospital. Yeah. I can remember coming here once. I remember when I was playing with some friends in a local wood. We were mucking around and this older kiddie came up and started chucking these big stones at us, and one of them just went whack in my forehead. So this massive cut. So I came here and had some stitches done. But what I always remember is the fact that when I came here to have my stitches done, I was given a sweet by the nurse because I didn't cry. Okay, onto the riverbank now then. So I'm beside the wonderful River Wye now, and there's the old Wye Bridge. Here we are then. I'm now halfway on the bridge. So that side of me is Wales, that side of me is England. Here you go, England, county of Gloucestershire. And if I was to go along this road for about 6.5 miles, I'd be in Alvington again, which of course was my first home. Now, just before my 3rd birthday, that was when my mum and dad were separating. So we left Alvington, my dad went his own way, and I stayed with mum, and we moved here to Chepstow and lived at my granny's house in Hardwick Avenue. Oh. The old Wye Bridge was the main road bridge into the town from Gloucestershire. It was built in 1816 and has been strengthened several times to accommodate increasing traffic volume and weight. The bridge is now a protected monument. So that square hole in the cliffs opposite is known as the Gloucester Hole. It's actually man-made. And one of the legends is that Brunel used it to store explosives when he was building the railway bridge. Okay, well that's my day here in Chepstow at an end, and it has been absolutely wonderful. I did come here back in 2018, but as I've been in the area again this year, it would have been rude of me not to visit Chepstow again, so you can never visit Chepstow too many times in my opinion.